Hey, thanks for checking out this video. This video is focusing on the judgment of Yah starting in the house of Israel, in Yah's house is where the judgment starts. And so I'm going to start off by reading Revelation 7 and 14, elements of that, and then we'll see First Peter, a chapter from there, and then go over to Ezekiel 9 and see how all this judgment takes place. So it says, Revelation 7, after this I saw four angels standing at the four corners of the earth, holding back the four winds of the earth, so that no wind could blow on the land, on the sea, or on any tree. I saw another angel coming up from the east with a seal from the living Yah, and he shouted to the four angels who had been given power to harm the land and the sea, do not harm the land or the sea or the trees until I have sealed the servants of our Yah on their foreheads. I heard how many were sealed, 144,000 from every tribe from the people of Israel, and then it names 12,000 from all the 12 tribes. So now I'm going to jump over to Revelation 14. Then I looked, and there was a lamb standing on Mount Zion, and with him were 144,000 who had his name and his father's name written on their foreheads. I heard a sound from heaven, like the sound of rushing waters, and like the sound of peals of thunder, and sound I heard was also like that of the harpists playing on their harps. They were singing a new song before the throne and before the four living beings and the elders, and no one could learn the song except the 144,000 who have been ransomed from the world. These are the ones who have not defiled themselves with women, for they are virgins. They follow the Lamb wherever he goes. They have been ransomed from among humanity as first fruits for Yah and the Lamb. On their lips no lie was found. They are without defect. So these are the first fruits. There will be other fruits down the road, but the 144,000 who have this mark. And I want to read this important verse coming up, and then we'll move on. Next, I saw another angel in mid-heaven with the everlasting good news to proclaim to those living on earth, to every tribe, nation, language, and people in a loud voice. He said, and if you get anything from this video, this is the most important. Fear Yah, give him glory, for the hour has come when he will pass judgment. Worship the one who made heaven and earth, the sea and the springs of water. Okay, so I want to go over to First Peter 4, and this is the core of this. I'm going to read the whole chapter. Therefore, since the Messiah suffered physically, you too are to arm yourselves with the same attitude. You're going to physically suffer. For whoever has suffered physically is finished with sin, with the result that he lives the rest of his earthly life no longer controlled by human desires, but by Yah's will. For you have spent enough time already living the way the pagans want you to live, in debauchery, lust, drunkenness, orgies, wild parties, and forbidden idol worship. They think it strange that you don't plunge in with them into the same flood of dissoluteness, and so they heap insults on you, but they will have to give an account to him who stands ready to judge the living and the dead. This is why he was proclaimed to those who have died. It was so that although physically they would receive the judgment common to all humanity, they might live by the Spirit in the way that Yah has provided. Accomplishing the goal of all things is close at hand. Therefore, keep alert and self-controlled so that you can pray. More than anything, keep loving each other actively, because love covers many sins. Welcome one another into your homes without grumbling. As each one has received some spiritual gift, he should use it to serve others, like good managers of Yah's many-sided grace. If someone speaks, let him speak Yah's words. If someone serves, let him do so out of strength that Yah supplies, so that in everything Yah may be glorified through Yeshua the Messiah. To him be glory and power forever and ever. Amen. Dear friends, don't regard as strange the fiery ordeal occurring among you to test you, as if something extraordinary were happening to you. Rather, to the extent that you share the fellowship of the Messiah's sufferings, rejoice, so that you will rejoice even more when his Shekinah is revealed. If you are being insulted because you bear the name of the Messiah, how blessed are you? For the spirit of the Shekinah, that is, the Spirit of Yah, is resting on you. Let none of you suffer for being a murderer or a thief or an evildoer or a meddler in other people's affairs. But if anyone suffers for being a believer, or messianic in this translation, let him not be ashamed, but let him bring glory to Yah by the way he bears his name. For the time has come for the judgment to begin. It begins in the house of Yah. And if it starts with us, what will the outcome be for those who are disobeying Yah's good news? If the righteous is barely delivered, there will be the ungodly and sinful end up. Where will the ungodly and sinful end up? So let those who are suffering according to Yah's will entrust themselves to a faithful Creator by continuing to do what is good. I'm going to jump over to Ezekiel 9, and I'll finish with that. And thank you for watching. Ezekiel 9. Then he cried loudly, right in my ears, summon the commanders of the city, each holding his weapon of destruction. At once 6 men approached the path from the upper gate to the north, each man holding his weapon of destruction. Among them was a man clothed in linen, with a scribe's writing equipment at his waist. They entered and stood by the bronze altar. Then the glory of Yah of Israel was made to go up from over the cherub, where it had been, to the threshold of the house. He called to the man clothed in linen, who had the scribe's writing equipment at his waist. Adonai said to him, "Go throughout the city, throughout all Jerusalem, and put a mark on the foreheads of the men who are sighing and crying over all the disgusting practices that are being committed in it. To the others I heard him say, "Go through the city after him and strike. Don't let your eye spare. Have no pity. Kill old men, young men, girls, little children, women. Slaughter them all. But don't go near anyone with the mark. Begin at my sanctuary." They began with the leaders in the front of the house. Then he said to them, "Defile the house, fill the courtyards with corpses, get going." So they went out, spreading death in the city. While the killing was going on, I was left alone. I fell on my face, cried, and said, "O Adonai Elohim, in pouring out your fury on Jerusalem, are you going to destroy everyone left in Israel?" Then he said to me, "The wickedness of the house of Israel and Yehuda is enormous. The land is full of blood, and the city is full of justice denied, because they say, 'Adonai has left the land. Adonai doesn't see.' But as far as I'm concerned, my eye will not spare, and I will have no pity, but I will bring the consequences of their ways on their own head, on their own heads." At this point, the man clothed in linen, with the writing equipment at his waist, returned and reported, "I have done everything you ordered me to do." And so the judgment is coming, and we know that these four winds that are held back until these people are sealed are the four trumpets, and those things are going to be released as well. But anyway, I know we're in a new season, we're in a new year, and I read these things with great fear in my heart for what's coming on the earth, fear of Yahweh, and 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 sadness for people that are going to be destroyed and lives that are lost. And I know I got a lot of repenting to do. And I encourage you guys to do the same and fear Yah. He was the Mashiach that was anointed. And yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching, and Baruch haba b'Hashem Yahweh.